to the big focus story. Ahead of the upcoming harvest season, the centre asked the governments of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Delhi to strive for achieving zero stubble burning and also promised all help to achieve that target. Paddy straw burning in Punjab and Haryana after the harvest is one of the major reasons for an alarming spike in air pollution levels in the national capital in the months of October and November, particularly in every year. Union Minister for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Narendra Singh Tomar, reviewed the preparedness of the states for the management of paddy stubble burning. He said that the concerned states must effectively utilize 600 crore rupees made available to them this fiscal year to achieve the desired goals. During a high-level review meeting chaired by Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, this meeting was attended by officials of state governments of Punjab, Haryana, UP and the National Capital Territory of Delhi, officers of the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, as well as the Indian Council of Agriculture Research were also present. So the idea was to have a meaningful discussion on how to eliminate the menace of stubble burning. Now, figures on your screen, viewers, on where India stands in this issue. And if you just take a look, you'll see that India, on countries with the worst AQI, India is top of the list with 231, Iraq 167, Iran 152, Bahrain 151 and China 141. So by far the highest AQI or air quality index. When we look at the factors that have been contributing to air pollution, we find industrial pollution to be the biggest factor, and this is a rough estimate done by studies. Figures may vary depending on time of the year. Industrial pollution 51%, vehicles 27%, crop burning 17%, fireworks 5%. So crop burning, stubble burning is a major factor undoubtedly in this entire pollution menace. So what are now let's in fact look at centre's claims on the things and measures that are being undertaken to tackle this menace. And we looked at the funds that the centre claims have been allocated, and this is what we see. For the state of Punjab, 1,147 crores, Haryana 693 crores, Uttar Pradesh 533 crores, National Capital Territory of Delhi 4.52 crores. And also you have the Institute of Agricultural Research and other central agencies allocated 61.01 crores. This is government data. The reason I put this in perspective is that the centre is claiming it has done all on its part to dispatch the funds required to switch to alternative methods, and yet even today you have reports on how farm fires are being lit up already in the state of Punjab. Let me welcome our guest this evening joining us here in the program, Dr. Kamal Soi, spokesperson of the BJP, MC Abbas, political analyst, Jaidhar Gupta, member of Right to Breathe. Very warm welcome to all of you, gentlemen. Thanks so much for joining us and for giving us your time. The primary question, of course, is now on the issue of what level of responsibility does the centre take with this, and what is the responsibility that states have to share. The centre has given its direction to achieve zero levels of stubble burning and says the states should chalk out a comprehensive action plan now. The budget allocation is done, funds are dispatched, establish a mechanism to ensure effective utilization of the machines, promote use of biodecomposer in a complementary mode, promote alternative utilization of stubble by way of mapping the demand, because this is used for other purposes, as we all know. So that is the kind of directive that has come from the centre, and of course about creating awareness among the farmers, etc. Now my question here is, the centre at this stage, right ahead of that period, of that vulnerable period that we know where this issue crops up, of the air pollution, you have this directive coming in. Isn't this a little too little and too late, Dr. Kamal Soi? Because given the fact that even now we are in quite early stages of eliminating stubble burning.
First of all, let me tell you, this is not late. Centre has been stressing on end to stubble burning from last 4 years. In fact, last 6 years. And we have allocated around 2,000 crores to only state of Punjab. And only last year, 496 crores were allocated for, as a subsidy for getting those machines as happy seeder and, alternative means. We have established around 30,000, centers for hiring those machines. Apart from that, 130,000 machines have been put in place for the farmers to use this alternative mean of sowing. So they are harvesting through a happy seeder. If they do through a happy seeder, then the stubble burning will not take place. What is happening? The states are, specifically government of Punjab, is not distributing funds getting from the center to the farmers. What happened? As I told you, around you yourself showed around 1,150 crores, but as far my data goes, it's around 2,000 crores, which has been allocated to state of Punjab in the last 4 years. Farmers have not been given. Even this year, this Punjab government, they say, we will, the Bhagwant Mann said, will give 2,500 per acre to farmers, where 1,000 will be contributed by Delhi and Punjab. And rest they were putting all the things to center. That center should give 1,500 per acre. Now the question is, when center is already giving them, why they are not dispersing this money to the farmers? Once they disperse this money to the farmers will be happy to not burn this stubble. I am myself a farmer, and if I am getting that much money, I will try to see that I don't burn this stubble. I try to use a decomposer. And let me tell you one more thing, very interesting aspect. Kejriwal ji, last year, with great fanfare and all, he said, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, we have developed a biodecomposer, and that biodecomposer will, solve this purpose. And, that biodecomposer will cost less than 100 rupees for 1 acre. And for that, he spent around 43 crore of rupees on the advertisements. Why don't they use this biodecomposer in Punjab now? So once you have developed that biodecomposer, use in Punjab, get rid of this stubble burning, give money to the farmers. Now the ball is in the court of states. Haryana is giving 2,500 per acre to the farmers. Punjab should also give, so that I tell you, Asta, around 60,000 people died last year due to the air pollution only in Delhi. And in India, 2.5 million people, they are dying because of pollution. We have to stop this massacre.
And when you say the responsibility now goes to the states, you would agree that it's the BJP in UP, the BJP in Haryana will have to take equal responsibility. Wherever there is a double engine, there should be no excuse at least. But we know for a fact that stubble burning has continued in these states as well. We always try to get Aam Aadmi Party a representative, but unfortunately they don't always agree to come for these programs. MC Abbas, if you can respond to this, that, here is a tussle again happening between centre and states. Your job and not my job sort of a thing, and that doesn't help. But the centre has made very clear about all its claims that this is the fund allocated, these are the machines that should be used. Why aren't the states doing it, Mr. Abbas?
Afrida Ali ji, firstly, thank you very much for having me on this show.
Pleasure.
Let me get straight to the point. I always believe, be it state or the center, with great power comes great responsibility, and with the responsibility comes accountability. The fact of the matter, the Bharatiya Janata Party needs to take a leaf out of the book of Shri, former late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, who once said, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan. Jai Kisan being the keynote here. We need to understand, why haven't the Bharatiya Janata Party government, double engine Sarkar, not worked in Haryana, neither have they worked in Uttar Pradesh? Respected gentleman has already quoted that the funds have been allocated. I challenge the BJP spokesperson on your show to kindly prove it. Let me tell you, 18th September 2022, The Hindu has carried an article where the center has refused to pay the 1,500 rupees per acre allotted by the central government. The funds haven't come through. It's very easy to flick numbers, but let's speak on hardcore evidence and facts. The fact of the matter, the state and the center...
You are widely mistaken. Only Afrida has shown the facts.
No, please hold on. Please don't speak over each other. Mr. Abbas, please finish.
Sir, yes, thank you, ma'am. The fact of the matter, the state government, the respective central government should keep their respective politics aside and focus on Kisan, the Annadata of the nation. Politics will do no good. Why should a poor farmer suffer? The fact of the matter, compensation needs to be provided by the state and the central government, public awareness campaigns, biodecomposers. Along with that, what we need is the district agricultural officers to be met by the agriculture minister, Mr. Kuldeep Singh Ahluwalia, who's had a series of meetings. The fact here is, I request both the respective parties to keep their differences aside and
shouldn't
work
this
in the
be a
best interest of the
collaborative
people.
effort, Mr. Abbas? I mean, you know, any cursory look at this problem, one can tell that this is not about boundaries. It's affecting this entire mass of land mass in India across states. Shouldn't these states be putting their heads together? Because, you know, the consequences are so grave. There is such slow
Absolutely,
progress
Afrida.
in shifting from stubble burning to alternative mechanism. This is costing citizens precious years of their life. Can the
Absolutely.
centre
30
continue to
seconds and I'm
shift
done,
onus to the states? Can the states continue to say that they are not adequately compensated? You know, and is it
Afrida
enough
ji.
only to announce the funds allocated? Yes, Mr. Abbas.
Afrida ji, a quick point, Afrida ji. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you're able to articulate the point here. It's important that we work on a constructive discussion than a high-level debate. The fact is, you've hit the nail on the head. We need to understand that the way forward, what are we looking at? Are we proud that India is top of the air quality index? Absolutely no. Iran is way behind. So if we have to work with the farmers, compensation for the farmers. I think the respective governments must keep their ego aside and work towards it. It's easy for BJP to be in power in many states and blame the state government. No, respective sir.
We will
need to
say,
work progressive.
look at the fund allocation. Nowhere are we in any way making any distinction between a BJP or a non-BJP ruled states. In fact, the funds to Punjab is higher, if not equal, to the other states. So there is no
It's not yet
discrimination
been allocated,
when it
ma'am.
comes
Let me come in a
funds. So I'm
here.
just
Let me
being the
come in a
devil's
here.
advocate here and saying that when it comes to
Frida, I want to
dispersal
make a
of
point.
funds,
Keep 30
are you
seconds.
convinced that is fair? Yes, go ahead.
Frida, what is happening is now, I do not know why Abbas is doing only BJP bashing. He must know 34% reduction in stubble burning has happened in Haryana last year. And this year, Haryana has already started giving 2,500 per acre to his farmers. Now the thing is, if you want to come on national TV and do BJP bashing, keep doing it. But the fact of the matter is, Kejriwal promised biomass degradation of stubble in Delhi, and he wanted to replicate that model in Punjab. Let him do it. Let him show that what he has experimented in Delhi.
Now let's talk on the
good
merits
in
of the case.
this thing else also.
Yes.
43 crore worth of advertisement he has given in newspapers last year.
So let's stick to the topic, sir.
But you know
Let's
what,
stick to the
Dr.
topic.
Kamal Soi, Delhi is the worst affected. It is the capital city. It is the seat of power for the current government, the ruling party
I
at the
know.
center. You
That is
cannot
why
simply keep saying that, well, the states are not doing enough. Address Delhi first. If you look at the AQI figures, Delhi among the cities, and I'll put those figures out as well. Delhi is by far the worst when it comes to the AQI figures. I don't even have to put out the figures because everyone knows about this.
You are right.
Dr.
You're
Saab,
right.
the
But
fact
let
of the
me tell you
matter-
one thing. If we start taking
Can I
action
just
on our
quickly
own,
rebut?
then you will say that we are infringing the state powers and state rights. This is a federal structure. State has to take the onus on them. State has to stop this stubble burning to see that no one dies because
Can
of
I
pollution.
But I will
Now-
tell you, we speak to farmers all the time. What they tell us is they are not adequately compensated. They are willing to shift.
You are
They are
correct.
willing to
Sir,
shift.
Haryana-
Machines are gathering
Haryana is an
dust.
example.
Machines
Afrida,
are
Haryana
gathering
is an
dust in
example.
Punjab. We have seen those
34%
pictures.
reduction in last 2
And
years.
now you are
And
telling
I'm
me,
sure
okay.
this year Haryana will be even lesser.
Dr. Saab.
Mr.
Dr.
Abbas,
Saab, I heard
Mr.
you
Abbas,
say,
I
Dr. Saab.
have Mr. Jaidhar Gupta who hasn't spoken yet, but quickly
Okay,
respond, Mr. Abbas, please
A quick response.
make your
Dr.
point.
Dr. Saab, most of your facts are absolutely right, sir. I've done my research. 90% you're right. But with respect to the budget allocation, sir, 18 September 2022, the Hindu has elaborated that the center has refused to allocate 1,500 rupees per acre to the paddy fields of the farmers. So you might call me BJP bashing, but I'm questioning on behalf of the farmers.
My dear
sir.
friend, I
Why
have
are you not
how much
compensating
money is
the
being given
farmers?
to
You need to
Punjab and
compensate the
Haryana.
farmers.
Now
And
the
then
question
Okay,
is
now we
the
can't
farmers.
understand
That is a
anyone
fact
when
today.
there are two speakers speaking at the same time. I'm afraid
You
I'll have to
misleading
intervene.
the- misleading
Mr.
Punjab
Jaidhar Gupta,
farmers,
okay,
enough of
hold
money
on,
to
gentlemen,
Haryana
hold on.
farmers.
I have allowed the two of you you to make your points. I want to bring in Mr. Jaidhar Gupta, who's member of Right to Breathe, to weigh in on the important points here. The contribution of 17%, if we go by that figure, to the total air pollution, it's a substantially large contributor. It's quite a big factor. And it only takes policy and execution and implementation to implement it, to eliminate stubble burning, isn't it? We know what we need to do, yet we are not able to do it, Mr. Gupta.
So, I'm going to make some very big statements here because I don't want to get into minutiae. Firstly, this is my 7th year on a panel discussion. Since 2015, I've been on every year. This time around, we talk about stubble burning, and the rest of the year we forget about it. I'm going to tell you it's too little, too late. Politics, once again, supersedes health and life in my country. And there's an apathy towards health and life, and that is really, really sad. I'm a pollution refugee myself. I have bronchial asthma. I still live in Delhi, but between Dussehra and Holi, I'm forced to abandon my home and my city. These are big statements. The myopic view of the central government to just engage the 4 states, this problem goes beyond the borders of India. We need to engage with Afghanistan. We need to engage with Nepal. We need to engage with Pakistan. Let's not have a myopic view. We have enough experience. The paddy burning has already started in Afghanistan. The moment the wind direction changes, the entire Indo-Gangetic plain, if you look at just India from Amritsar to Calcutta, about 600 to 700 million people living along the GT Canal Road are going to get smoked. You are playing politics year after year. State and central government, you've got to please wake up. The solutions are very simple. Incentivize good behavior and penalize bad behavior. There is a ban on paddy burning that hasn't been enforced in 7 years, maybe even longer. How long will we have to wait? And every time there's an election, you keep putting clean air in your manifestos. This is a joke. You have no credibility with your vote bank.
Mr. Jaidhar Gupta, what you're telling us here is very, very significant, that here we are squabbling among the states. We are not able to build a consensus. And what you're telling us is that we actually should have by now interacted with our neighboring countries and should have had a consolidated formula on how to work on this. Far from it, we are busy squabbling amongst ourselves. There is no center-state coordination, which is the tragedy of the situation. I have Mr. Chaudhary Pushpendra, farmer leader from Uttar Pradesh. I wanted to address this question to Mr. Pushpendra. Pushpendra ji, if you can hear me, I want to ask you that the debate is around why the farmers are not shifting despite all the funds being dispersed, despite machines arriving into their farmlands, yet the switching over to other mechanism from stubble burning is not happening. इसकी क्या वजह है?
देखिए, पहले इसमें हाथ से जो कटाई होती थी वो होती रही थी, और हाथ से कटाई करके ही इसका सबसे ज्यादा सिंपल सॉल्यूशन है, जिसमें सारी चीजें कवर होती हैं। वो नेचुरल भी है, लोगों को एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी मिलता है, और ये जो स्टबल की समस्या ही नहीं होती, क्योंकि जड़ से काट देती है मशीनें, इसको ऊपर से काटती हैं। तो जो 1.5-2 फुट का उसका तना बच जाता है, जिसको स्टबल कहते हैं, इसकी वजह से ये हो रहा है। अब ये क्यों किया जा रहा है कि मशीन से काटने का? ये 10 साल 12 साल पहले हरियाणा और पंजाब में ये जो ग्राउंड वाटर कंजर्वेशन एक्ट लाया गया था, उसकी वजह से जो फसल की बुआई है, जो सीडिंग है, उसको इन्होंने शिफ्ट कर दिया जून में, जो कि मई तक कंप्लीट हो जाती थी। अब इस वजह से जो फसल की साइकिल हमने डिस्टर्ब की है, इसी वजह से उसकी कटाई लेट होती है, अक्टूबर में शुरू होगी। उसके बाद जो नेक्स्ट फसल आती है नवंबर में, रबी की गेहूं की, मुख्य रूप से गेहूं हरियाणा और पंजाब में, उसको बोने के लिए बहुत शॉर्ट विंडो बचती है। उस शॉर्ट विंडो में उस सारी फसल,
तो आपका ये कहना है कि पूरे मुद्दे की समझ है नहीं सरकारों की, और ये किसानों पे थोप दिया कि ये लीजिए मशीन, ये लीजिए पैसे, अब करिए। लेकिन आप जो कह रहे हैं, कई चीजें सीजनल होते हैं, कई चीजें क्रॉप के साइकिल के ऊपर भी डिपेंड करते हैं, इसके वजह से भी फार्मर्स बिकम हेल्पलेस। Jaidhar Gupta, do you think that's a valid point?
मैं
if you look at it at a farmer level, they have so many problems. The diesel is so expensive for these happy seeders. Nobody wants to operate these happy seeders. Okay. If you look at, the manual labor, the farmer doesn't have manual labor to, convert this, all this stubble into bales. There are some positives here. I'm hearing of a lot of gasification plants that have come up, energy plants in Punjab. A lot of the industry in Punjab are moving towards these, from thermal power towards these gasification plants. But, we're not going to really move the needle. I think the need of the hour is to just warn everybody in Delhi, NCR, and Kanpur, and Lucknow, and Allahabad that it's coming. Prepare your homes, get out of town, the storm, the shit storm, and the gas chamber that you're used to year after year, it's coming. I mean, I think that's the big message that needs to be going out to people right now.
That kind of a grave consequences that we are facing year after year, and we just heard it. This entire discussion has exposed it once again, and like Mr. Gupta said, every year we do it. We have to do it, we question. But where is the solution? If you have this level of lack of coordination, there cannot be. I'm telling you, unless it's one single platform dealing with this issue where farmers are the biggest stakeholders, this cannot work out simply with disbursal of funds. It's not one of those issues. I'm sorry, completely out of time, but really appreciate Dr. Kamal Soi, MC Abbas, and Jaidhar Gupta for joining us.